From overhauling the suspension to tackling engine quirks. Join me on this restoration adventure. Let's roll! Hey car enthusiasts! It's the Austrian car guy, and today we're taking a few steps off the Seville and immerse ourselves into the vintage charm of the 1965 Ford Anglia. The car that initially started this channel a few years back. Before we dive into the nuts and bolts, let's appreciate the timeless beauty of the 65 Anglia. This classic has stories to tell, and today we're making sure it tells them in style. My brother and me got this car from our grandparents. It was sitting around 40 years in a well-ventilated garage, so it has almost no rust at all, but indeed some major overhauling steps, like a whole new suspension, new brakes, an overhaul of clutch and brake master cylinders, and most of all, the heart of the car has some major issues we have to address. First on the agenda, the suspension overhaul, front and rear. We're reviving every component, ensuring this Anglia glides down the road with the grace of its golden era. Join me under the car as we delve into the intricacies of vintage suspension restoration. We disassembled the rear axle to get everything clean and repaired properly. Brakes, the unsung heroes of safety. We're not just stopping, we're rejuvenating the entire braking system. It's a meticulous process. Safety first, style follows. We sandblasted the brake backing plates, rebuilt the brake cylinders and put everything with all new hardware back together. Now let's talk engine drama. Every classic has its quirks, and the Anglia is no exception. I'll spill the beans on the engine challenges we faced so far. We rebuilt the fuel delivery from the tank to the mechanical fuel pump, so the engine can feed on the dinosaur juice as good as possible. Next, the engine needed to feed on fresh oil. And that was quite a challenge, since the oil pump didn't want to build up sufficient vacuum, sucking the oil in and send it to every corner of the engine. I tried to cover the oil pump gears in oil, so they won't run dry. But that didn't help. To help the pump build up enough vacuum, I put in some thick grease and et voila, the oil was finally running through the engine and showing up on top. Since the engine is now lubricated, gets air and fuel, the last thing we needed was spark. With a new battery, the spark worked pretty well. No huge hustle needed here. So we're ready to start. Okay, ready to start. Okay, something's not working like it should. The starter is retracting too early. It has to be the starter that causes the problems. Luckily, a friend of ours had one laying around he no longer needed, and gifted it to me and my brother. Out with the old and in with the new. We're ready to start. New try. Okay, new try. We're ready to start. We got fuel, spark and air. The starter does some starting things, but as soon as the engine wants to start, it retracts. Maybe the starter wasn't the problem. How's about compression? Another thing that's quite the thing if you want to get an engine running. We had no compression tester at hand, so we did a quick and dirty test. Cut the power so it cannot start, pulled the spark plug one by one, put the thumb over the hole where the plugs sit and turned the key to roll over the engine. Number 1, built up pressure. Number 2, not quite, or should I say it felt like nothing at all. Same with number 3. Number 4 felt okay again. Causes? something's wrong with the piston rings or a bad head gasket. So that's where we're at. Next up, we try to find some hints with an endoscope camera. If I could wish for something, it's definitely a bad head gasket, since it's a lot easier to replace and make some progress with the car. Let's hope we can coax this vintage heart back to life. What lies ahead for our 65 Ford Anglia? I'll share the dreams and plans that will shape the future of this classic beauty. Definitely some cosmetic enhancements, since the interior isn't in a presentable condition. New window and door seals are urgently needed. The restoration isn't just my journey, it's ours. Share your thoughts, advice or your own Anglia stories in the comments below and join me in envisioning the next chapters. And there you have it, a glimpse into the intricate world of restoring a 1965 Ford Anglia. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until the next chapter, drive safe and may your classics forever roam the roads. Tschüss!